Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sick Folks of Cinema. How's everybody doing?
It's good.
All right, all right. So, what's everybody been watching? Let's start with Stina.
Me, well, this week, I watched all my normal stuff. I'm caught up on WandaVision, Schitt's Creek,
Yeah.
my stories,
My
Drag
stories.
Race. But we did come across a tiny little gem that took me on a journey. This week, we watched, it's called Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. And it was a TV miniseries in 2004 on the BBC, and it has some great people in it. It's got Richard Ayoda or Ayoada.
Okay.
He's from IT Crowd. He's
Okay.
Moss,
Mhm.
and Matt Berry's in it. But it's basically, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like it's kind of like a parody on. Okay, I'll just try to explain it to you. Garth Marenghi is he's a horror writer,
Mhm.
right? He's a horror writer, and he wrote, directed, and acted in a mini series called Dark Place, and each episode is him, and like sometimes it's the other actors on the show, sometimes it's his publisher talking about the episodes
Mhm.
of this thing. But it's it's like a Dark Place is like a really bad 80s horror drama that's like something of like a Stephen King kind of mindset, but just like production value is bad.
Mhm.
Everything is bad about it. But it was so goddamn funny. And the episodes are only like a half an hour long, and there's just like 6 episodes. It's just like a one shot, and it was hysterical. Like if you like shit that is supposed, if you like Tim and Eric show type shit where it's
Mhm.
like intentionally that bad, you would love this.
So is it like Tim and Eric meets What We Do in the Shadows?
It's more of like Tim and Eric if Stephen King were a douchebag and wanted to like write, direct, and act in his own like novel series. It was
If.
so
We said
bizarre.
if, Stephen. If
Yes,
you're
if,
listening, we said
absolutely if. But it was just like, I mean, down to like the intro is like, you are entering my dark place.
Mhm.
Like he's
That's
just,
cool.
oh my God, it's so funny and it's so good. And the reason that we came across it was like just YouTube surfing, and we were looking up Matt Berry stuff, and this clip from an episode came up where Matt Berry's character in the show just breaks out into like an 80s music video, and it's like a full on like synth, he's singing, and it's fantastic. And I was like, what the fuck was that from?
Mhm.
And even Ed was like, I have no idea, I've never seen that before, and I have no idea. And I like hunted it down, and you can't stream it anywhere, and apparently you can't buy it like on DVD or anything anywhere because of like the region differences. But I did find it for free on YouTube, and let me tell you, it was a time well spent.
Mhm.
And nothing else really beat what I watched on that. So yeah, Garth Marenghi's Dark Place was
Check it out.
chef kiss. It was so good.
Chef kiss.
Chef kiss.
All right, let's see what Heather has been watching.
I don't remember.
Here, I'll skip me.
Come back to me.
Uh,
She's been watching the makeup mirror.
I'm doing a get ready with me right now. If anyone's watching this on YouTube, you can get ready with me while everyone else is talking about horror. I will be doing my makeup. I
There's
was
gonna be an
thinking, oh, I need to
unboxing.
do my makeup before the show, but I don't, because it just adds more facets, more hashtags
Mhm.
to like more layers. Really, it's just cross marketing.
I mean,
what
I'm
it is.
glued to your screen. Like I was trying to say my story, and then I was like, "Ooh, look at that arch, girl!" Yes.
Yeah, right. I totally fucked it up, but it's fine.
Not me. I got triggered because like I feel like my car's running and I'm waiting for you to get, you know what I mean? Like come on. Like,
It's giving you anxiety.
yeah. I'm like, God damn it. Okay, fine. We're not going. You know. That's,
But I watched Better Call Saul. I started watching some of those.
That's
Just
next
to
on
fall
the list.
asleep to it though, so I can't tell you what it's about at all.
I love those shows. Shows designated to like fall asleep to or to relax.
It's just like sometimes I want to get into a series. I tried to watch this anime called like High Rise Invasion. It's like on Netflix, and it's like a world of skyscrapers, and everyone just like ends up in the world from the like they just get transported there, and then these people in mass chase them and try and make them give up and kill themselves by jumping off the high rises. And that's that show in a nutshell. It is weird. I don't know if I recommend it. It wasn't like, it was just super weird, and it was like a little pervy. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it's like these are schoolgirls, and we're gonna do as many underwear shots as we can. Like, you know how they kind of like some anime
High School of the Dead does that. High School of the Dead
yeah,
does a lot
it's
of
like
that. Oh
that's
my
exactly what I was
God.
thinking when I was watching it. Is like they're trying to do the high school of the High School of the Dead thing.
Yeah, same, man. That's it. Like you're like, oh wow, this is really good, and then panty shot, and then oh wow, this is really
Right,
two
and then
panty
it's
shots.
like
You're like, what the
it's like
fuck?
it's like, are you kind of losing mass appeal by trying to appeal to people who are into anime porn? You know what I mean? At that point,
It's so bizarre.
They're
you're kind of
reaching.
sacrificing like people who don't want to watch anime porn by like trying to make it both thing, like making it softcore anime porn is
Soft
turning people like
hentai.
me away from it. I want artistic anime porn. Like I want some
Some
poor
plot.
women flow, like lots of foreplay kind of anime porn. You know,
yeah, I think we
Yeah.
could drop the tentacles. I'm not into that. That's the one part.
That
Yeah.
only came about because they can't show genitalia, so that's
I mean,
tentacles.
I like the
is-
tentacles, but you got to do it in Act 3. You can't start with tentacles.
Can I?
Buy dinner first.
I don't know what the Japanese like what their name is for the standards and whatever board, but
Standards and practices.
yeah, can we all agree that showing a dong is not worse than getting fucked by an alien octopus? Is that, you know what I mean? Like, what's happened? Why are we doing that? Like,
It's kind of
But
like
I
the
mean,
Catholic Church, right?
Yeah.
It's
The
like
possibilities are endless with the tentacles. You're not limited to just
but,
one.
but which is more
Like we can only
obscene
show one of these.
which is
But
more
if we
obscene,
pretend
like the
it's
dick you
these.
have, you know what I mean? Like you literally can't even walk around with your dick swinging, in or vagina or any genitalia. It's just it's pixeled, and yet like all this other sick fuck stuff is like that's cool, just as long as we don't see those genitals. It just seems weird. It seems like a weird line to draw
Like
when it comes to obscenity.
32 penis tentacles, one dick. That's a hard one, guys.
Yeah. I wonder how they feel about Mr. Potato Head. This is gonna get we're going down a rabbit hole, guys.
Why is his nose down below? Well,
I want to play that game of Mr. Potato Head. Like I want that packet.
I want to play Operation of Mr. Potato Head. Yeah.
God.
Oh God! I put the dick in his mouth. I don't know.
Yeah, anime is, there's some anime, the newer anime. Yeah, it's really weird. They'll even slow mo it. Can you believe that, Stina?
Mhm.
They'll slow mo it
Can you believe that?
when
Wait,
you
where do
see
I find?
that.
Where's the? Can you send me a link?
Anime, you're like zombie kill, panties, zombie kill, slow mo, panties.
link below. Link in the bio, guys.
Don't click the link in the bio. Don't do it.
We're gonna
that's
we're gonna
Ugh.
get comments that are gonna be.
that's High School of the Dead for you, really.
So that's something that I watched and then regretted watching it. And then I watched Better Call Saul, and it was great, but I fell right to sleep, which is, I guess, is not a bad thing, right? and I managed to watch our movie this morning.
Oh, there you go.
And
Hey.
besides that, I've been busy, not kill, just I'm done. Period.
Heather's
All
a
right.
busy lady.
All right. Keith, what you been watching?
Okay, so for active watching, like stuff that I, enjoy. Here's the thing. I say I enjoy it. I still watching the Goldbergs. I can't get through more than 2 episodes of the Goldbergs. I love the show. It's fun. It's funny. It's entertaining. But I get seriously triggered by the mom, because I've said this before. My mom was a bit of a maniac. My mom was sort of like an emotional terrorist, just like her. Like I
love
would get-
Beverly Goldberg. I love her so
I would-
much.
if we went shopping with my mom and we were in a store and like we were just out of eye line for a second, we would get paged by the store. Like she'd go to the manager, have them on the loudspeaker call me by name, and I'm like, God.
Oh my God.
Fuck.
I did that so much when I worked at Macy's.
And you know
And
how
you'd always expect like a 5-year-old boy to show up, and it's like some teenager. It's like, Mom, I was just looking at shoes. And they're like, oh, thank you, dear. And it's like, really?
God, yeah. Oh, my mom would have no qualms. Like if we were shopping for like a new jacket or shoes, and she asked the salesperson how much it was, she would already be ready. He would have the number out of his mouth, and she would already be ready to like whistle at the number. Like, that's a lot, like across, and everybody's like an embarrassment walking like all the time, argue with people like in public over nothing, and I'm like, oh my God, whatever, smack us in front of all that kind of stuff. The weird hugging. Sorry, Mom, you're weirder now, but it was
Weird hugging.
Anyway, so I've been trying to get through as much of the Goldbergs as possible. I did manage to watch Winchester, which is one of Heather's suggestions from a few weeks ago.
For a bad movie.
Yeah. I just watched it.
Yeah, that was one of my picks.
It was your pick?
Yeah.
It wasn't great. And I had a lot of problems with it, and I always have a problem. My style, and it's Heather's style is a little similar to it, but like I like the feeling. I like the nuance in these films. I like to just feel disturbed. I don't like it when the writers or the director feel like they have to get too deep and involved in like the physics of what ghosts can do and what ghosts can't do and why they do it and why they don't. Is if you get bogged down in those physics, because they're not real physics, they're fake physics, people. I'm sorry, this spoiler alert. We should probably put that.
Ghostbusters.
But they're not real physics. So when you start having to explain physics and they're not real, you're going to contradict yourself. You're going to run into problems. And at the very least, they're going to seem like odd and peculiar and sort of like forced and goofy sometimes. And that was a movie where I'm like, what the fuck is the bullet for? Like, why would a ghost care if you shot somebody with this bullet? You know what I mean? Like, shut the fuck up with that stupid bullet. And he inscribed, you have to see it.
You got to see The Entity. Have you seen Entity with Barbara Hershey?
And then she's like building the house and then building different rooms. This is based on sort of a real story. Because
it's based on the Winchester house.
Yeah, but like the haunting of it is sort of, obviously like unconfirmed that she saw these ghosts, but
yeah,
whatever. Like the ghost specifications of a room has to look like this so I can live in it, throw a tantrum, and then go into the afterlife. I mean, is this the Bible? What the fuck? It's just the dumbest stories that don't make any sense. Like
strong-arming ghosts to go to the light.
Yeah, and I don't love, like, I know that it's based on sort of what she was told in real life by a spiritualist, but I didn't love the like undertones of, the ghosts blame the Winchesters for the guns that killed them. Like, what about that dude that killed you with the gun? I'm not trying to get in that gun debate right now, but like you know that the caveman that invented fire probably like got so many ghosts at his fucking. Oh my God, this shit again.
Yeah.
Like
What people don't understand, I feel like some people think that establishing a universe and its rules, they're like, oh, if I explain this, then it'll make sense. And it's like, well, no. There are layers upon layers when you're establishing a universe. Like if you're something like take for example something like Game of Thrones or Doctor Who.
Mhm.
Like those universes, the rules are established. There are rules to which, they have to abide. Like you can't get around them. There is no going around them. Doctor Who is a bad example because in recent years they kind of did that. But I mean, like Game of Thrones, there are, you have to set these things up, but it's like a million layers. It's like working in Photoshop to create one image. Like you can't have that image without the other ones. And I think people take it for granted. Like, oh, if I just set up these rules with this story and then we throw in this, they come into plot holes like that where it doesn't make sense because someone will say, but why?
Mhm.
Like, but why? But that doesn't make sense. And they're like, oh, this is why. And they're like,
Yeah.
okay, but then why this? And they're like, oh, and this, and that's where all the confusion and like the contradicting comes in because these people didn't know how deep
Mhm.
they were getting into
Yeah.
this
And the
universe because
tentacles come out.
I do
yeah, and then
have,
the tentacles come out. It's wild.
I do have those questions from time to time, and I think the perfect movie is this weird tightrope walk where you eliminate the questions by showing some of what answers it without getting too bogged down in your own details. And I know that's not easy, and I know like we all we do is critique these films and we complain about all those problems, but and it's not an easy job to do, but it can be done. There are times
Yeah.
where like they don't answer any questions, but they also don't like
Kind of overly
they don't
explain it.
expose it like an
Mhm.
unanswered thing and
Yeah.
just say, oh, ignore that because that will ruin our movie, you know.
And like what I've noticed with you, Keith, like the movies that you kind of like a chaotic universe. Like you don't want to be told what's going on. You just want to be plopped down and then look at your surroundings and be like, oh shit, oh shit. Like you don't want it to be organized and spoon fed to you and be like, this is why this. No, you're just like, just put me in the chaos. I'll figure it out, and if I like it, I like it.
Totally. And the other thing I've been watching that's my passive watch at night. I love watching like Science Channel stuff, and I found a good show on Amazon, Quark Science. It's hosted by Jim Al-Khalili, who's a professor, and it's like a Science Channel show, you know, and it's like it's a little weird. There's like, you know, one episode, it's a series, and one episode is like an hour and 58 minutes, and then the next one's 42 minutes. I'm like, what do you, why are you separating me? Who gives a fuck at that point? You know? But,
That's like we try to get into The Loop.
Mhm.
I think that's on Amazon Prime too. And the episodes are extremely long. Like they're like movies.
Mhm.
And you're just watching like movie after movie in this like series and they're episodes. And you're like, that's a little.
Here's what I
little
do. I
much.
watch it until I wake myself up from snoring, and then I'm ready to go to sleep, and then I turn it off. So I don't even know how long I've been, you know, and then I have to rewatch it sometimes because I don't know what I slept through. But I watch a lot of Science Channel stuff, and I was even within the first 40 minutes of this, I saw stuff that I didn't know, and they covered ground that like I haven't seen covered before, and like how the universe works and other shows like that. So it's worth a watch. Anyway.
That's
Nice.
that's interesting because that's like for me, The Irishman on Netflix. You know, I had to watch it several sittings because I kept falling asleep. It was like so goddamn long.
I watched that show more than any other movie during quarantine.
I heard Scorsese hasn't seen the whole thing.
I don't know if you'll live through the whole thing.
That's why I haven't even attempted it yet.
What, an hour a day?
Like,
hour a day. You can get through in about 3-4 days.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's really long. It's great. I mean, it's really good. It's based off the book.
Is it?
I liked it. If you're a if you like Casino, if you like Goodfellas, you'll like it.
If you're like a real diehard Scorsese
Yeah.
fan and you can handle his style, even if the story's going fucking nowhere,
Oh,
going to just, why does this car smell like fish? That's the climax of the movie.
It felt
Why does this car
No.
smell like fish?
it wasn't a bad watch, but it did feel a little
No,
self-indulgent.
it's very slow. Yeah,
It
it's
didn't
very
need to
slow.
be that long, you know.
As far as myself, I've been catching up on The Walking Dead. They have this new like kind of second half part of season 10, so I've been watching that. And then yesterday, before it got too late, I watched Coming to America 2 on Amazon Prime.
Can't wait to watch that.
I can't wait to watch that.
Oh yeah, really thoroughly enjoyed it. And that's one thing I like about that is it didn't take itself too seriously. And captured, I think, for me, the spirit of the first movie. So if you enjoyed the first movie but don't expect it to top the first movie, then you'll be fine. And then YouTube wise, just stuff on French Bulldogs, video games, and stuff on stand-up comedy. That's pretty much it. I didn't get to too much. That's about it.
Only like 19 hours. Nothing.
No, that's not that. That's not that much.
We didn't have a lot.
But we did watch this week Let the Right One In. If I'm not mistaken, it is a Swedish horror film, if I am
You're right.
okay. And who wants to start?
Swedish, yeah. It's 2008 Swedish
2008
romantic horror film. And so we were talking about how we're having already there's a little bit of discord here because Heather and Stina were talking about how this is sort of a sweet romance and not really a sick fuck movie.
Well, okay, I actually don't think it's a sweet romance. That is not my opinion. But I think that it's a tamer movie than we've seen in a minute. But there are a couple of scenes that make it dead ass for adults.
Which I went right for because like
that.
Yeah.
And I love this movie a lot. Like, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. But it's one of those things where when I saw this movie, 12, 13 years ago, like I kind of just like was just like, okay, whatever. That was a weird scene, but it's fine. Like, they're Swedish, I guess, whatever. But now I feel like I don't know about it. It kind of does. It is like a daunting kind of like warts on an otherwise beautiful movie to have like that weird shot. And it's like, I know why they did it and everything like that.
Weird shot. I'm sorry, which weird shot?
Is it the one where there's no crotch? No crotch?
Talking about the crotch shot.
Yeah, where there's no like it's just literally gone.
Right. Yeah. I want to like just off the bat, like that's something where it's like looking at that now versus when I first saw the movie, I feel like I don't know. It's like I'm not as cool with like that, I guess, just because I know that like I guess I'm more exposed to how bad people are nowadays. So it's like I can't enjoy tasteful, like artistic nudity at all because it's like someone's looking at that and being a fucking creep about it. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like, definitely a very adult. It's mature content. It's for mature people that are gonna
right
in the artistic way that it's meant. But there's a lot of questions here. First, is it? First of all, what is the vampire's actual age?
What
That's
was it, Ellie?
Question.
Right,
Ellie.
So, that's another thing where the first time I watched this movie, I was like, "Oh, this is such a sweet romance," and now I'm looking at it like that woman is a predator, and she's preying on that 12-year-old child.
Then it's big all over again with Tom Hanks,
Right, exactly. Like she's praying, it's like reverse big, exactly. And not only that, but she's also like gonna fucking like this, like what really hurt, and I ended up sympathizing with like the simp at the beginning, her caretaker, who you guys like, he's like depicted as her dad, but then it comes like you start to I started to realize watching it this time that actually that was she met that guy when he was a kid.
Yes,
and that's her old boyfriend.
Yeah.
And what hurts the most is not that he became a serial killer for her, that's fine. But the fact that she was so rude to him and she just treated him like shit. That's what got me, because it's like she's really nice to this kid and it feels like such a genuine romance, and she probably thinks it's a genuine romance or whatever in her own sick fucking mind. But in a year, she's not gonna give a fuck about him. He's just gonna become her next fucking little helper. And that's what gets me about watching this again, and that's the horror that
it ruins
like
the
I was
romance.
saying, this wasn't a horror movie. You guys are picking a romance and drama, really.
So you're
but
saying
no, it's horrifying just on that alone.
So you're saying she didn't spare him in the beginning, like she could have just fed on him, but she didn't do so, not out of genuine like romance or feelings towards having a friend but that's the next helper or familiar, whatever the role is.
Yeah, she's getting a replacement.
Yep, she's grooming him.
To me, that became really apparent in a couple of scenes, because there was the one scene where he was like, the older man who was the father at that point was like, can you please not go out with him tonight?
Mm-hmm.
And she just turned around, touched his face, and left. And he knew. He was like, I'm too old. And like, I remember in that first scene, spoiler alert, this has all been spoiler alerts, everything's a spoiler.
Spoiler.
But that first scene where he kills the teenager and the fucking dog comes up, I was like, yo, this has got to be the worst vampire familiar I've ever seen. Like, who is this guy? Yeah. But then you just realize, like, yo, homie's just tired. How long has he been doing this?
Oh yeah, it's like the
he's probably been doing this.
It's like the Danny Glover character. I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah, like he's probably been doing this forever, and you know, he knew the rules, and he knew, you know, yeah, she was rude to him, but I mean, that's an old vampire. That's an old vampire, because you could tell this is not her first rodeo. This is not going to be her last rodeo.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do kind of question that, like, well, was it endearing or was it not? Because that's why I said it had, like, I liked the movie a lot. It gave me really big, like, Interview with the Vampire type vibes yeah. Because Ellie was a straight up Lestat. Mm-hmm. Because Lestat had so much love for Louis and Claudia.
Master manipulator,
love.
Basically.
Yeah, he had so much love and he had so much compassion, quote unquote. But the moment that they were useless or they, you know, pushed back, he turned into the brat prince. Mm-hmm. How has he survived this long? Because that's who he was. And so that manipulation, like the relationship between those two, it was very reminiscent of an Anne Rice kind of vampire novel, which I appreciated because I think it followed the vampire lore down to a T, but it was still vague enough that it didn't give you any sort of rules to live by. Like, these are vampires. Like, it followed a vibe that I really liked and I appreciated.
If you're a fan of Interview with a Vampire, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, Keith. No, there's a Neil Jordan film called Byzantium, and
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's really good. It's from this Neil Jordan, who made Interview with a Vampire, the film. I mean, granted, he didn't write the story. That was Anne Rice, but yeah, if you like that kind of vampire film, that's about like a daughter and a mother vampire. It's really good.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, Byzantium is amazing.
I have my thoughts on horror physics, and so I have feelings about the whole vampire.
I feel like I can help you because I really do, like, vampires are like one of the things that I like geek out over. I do love it.
I finally found the one thing that I have in common with cats, and that's I don't like vampires. It's a little too cartoonish with the physics for me. But I want to get back to that.
That was a great scene, though.
Yeah,
that was. That's when I was like,
I felt a little bit, not just a titch. I felt just a titch of like CGI overload in that.
Oh yeah, there was, yeah.
Yeah,
So
the facial
I'm
expressions
not
on
going
those
to dig
cats were a
too
little.
hard for that because it wasn't that bad. But I was like, okay, I can.
And it doesn't last too long. If that thing
No,
was
it
like
wasn't
10 minutes
egregious,
long.
but I did feel a little bit
Yeah.
like Anakin Skywalker surfing on that weird hippopotamus moment, you know. Anyway, but I still want to talk about Ely because I'm like fascinated with this situation because I want to know everything about Ely, like her age. So let's assume she's the same age as the familiar, roughly, right? So this, and we got glimpses of her as an older woman, right? Her real, you know.
Mhm.
But then, okay, so then what is her gender? She's saying she's not a girl. Herself as an older woman, has the appearance of an older woman. We got a crotch shot implying that she's been castrated as a eunuch or something. Heather, do you have any input on this? Do you know what was happening?
I don't I don't know at all what's going on. I don't necessarily, so I know that I don't assume that that was her first a helper.
Oh no,
Like,
yeah.
she could have been doing this for a
Hundreds of
very long
years. Hundreds probably.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it almost feels otherworldly, right? Like, but she did turn someone into a vampire, and I don't think that that person became a eunuch. And I don't even know if she was a eunuch, like, because I didn't look at the crotch shot. Like,
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
wasn't that.
pause to
Mhm.
study it, you know?
Just looks
Like,
scarred.
I almost
think-
looked at it like, well, she keeps saying she's not a girl. She has a voice deeper than mine. Maybe he was just like trying to do a little inspection to make sure, you know, what was going on there. I don't know.
This
I think like when she kept saying like I'm not a girl. Like what if I wasn't a girl? I think she was trying to tell him, "Hey bro, I'm not a 12-year-old girl like you."
I'm a
Or
woman.
like
I'm a
I'm not,
grown-ass
you know,
woman.
yeah, like I'm not a girl. I'm a fucking
I'm
creature
really a
of the
40-year-old
night.
man on the internet.
Or
You know?
or did she mean I'm not a human? I'm a vampire.
Yeah, that's how I took it. I took it as she was trying to say, like, I'm not a 12-year-old girl. Like, I'm not even a girl.
Or I don't
okay?
or I don't
did she mean
identify
not-
with either being a male or female.
Yeah, or did she mean
Mhm.
that I'm either not I'm either a man or I'm a another gender that's not compatible with what you're probably hoping for.
Yeah.
There's another way that I took it too. I'm still unclear.
Yeah, the way that I took it was she was trying to explain to him in the nicest way possible because she did like him in a sense. Like, hey, I'm not a girl. Or like, would you still like me if you knew I wasn't a girl? And he was like, yeah, probably. And she was like, okay. That question went over smoothly.
But that
And
little
then when he
twerp doesn't
asked to go
know-
steady,
Yeah.
she was like, you know I'm not a girl, right? I'm not a little girl. And he was like, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. It's fine. I
Yeah.
just like you. Will you just go steady? We'll just hang out. It's cool. I just get to call you my girlfriend.
And,
She-
and that's when
And she was like, okay.
yeah, if nothing's
That's
gonna
how I took that.
change, then we can do whatever it is that you want to do.
Okay, so my other question is now, let's just call it what it is. She did not look Swedish, so she almost was looked like Romanian,
Polish?
right? Like
Kinda
yeah,
Polish.
so maybe she is from centuries ago, back in the time of Vlad the Impaler's, or classic vampire lore. I don't know.
Yeah.
Could be,
Yeah,
could
she
be.
gave me, yeah, that was another thing that I was like, I like this, was that she wasn't like a little sweet girl. She had like that, like, Poland, like Romania, like you could easily see this,
Yeah. Like she looked like when the flash to the older versions of her looked like like an old Polish lady or really old Swedish lady or something from like a World War II kind of ish,
Mhm.
or like even like an old gypsy, if you will.
Mhm.
Yeah.
As far as what
They
movies
don't
portray
like that
gypsies
word.
as.
That's the G word.
That's the
Polish.
G word.
Yeah.
Don't be gypsy racist.
That's
No, but actually, yeah, say Roma instead.
Yeah, but I did, I did like the meticulous detail to certain things where, if you see a lot of even modern vampire stuff, they're not very meticulous or very well versed in certain things. And this film is very well versed in a lot of the vampire lore and the little things. Like
I thought the cats were a nice touch.
oh yeah, the cats, you know, how they sense the something not natural about the individual. I really liked how they kept to the sunlight. I really liked how they kept to the familiar, getting so old that he's not good at what he used to be good at anymore. And so she's having to find someone else to help take care of her
So
because
why,
she's not trying to move town to town because she keeps getting caught.
why was it more feasible for him to go out and like tie people up and drain them rather than her to just go out and feed?
So that way they would kill him and not her.
Nope,
It's
but
more of
no,
a
he would
misdirect
kill-
in a sense too.
He'd be way easier to catch.
Oh no, of course.
Run away and climb a building, and
Yeah.
and she's impervious to the cold. Like there's so many more reasons why she should just go and feed herself.
Yeah,
Well,
it could be more of a
I
power
mean,
thing.
Unless
Did you
that's
see
his job.
both of the times she did it, she got caught both times.
Mhm.
She got caught with
so did he.
yeah, like that's what, but
But-
that's the whole reason for like a familiar is because like normally when hunger strikes, like did you see how she looked at him when he cut his hand, the little boy, Oscar, and she was like,
Oscar.
get the fuck out of here, go away, I need to go away. Like it's almost like an uncontrollable thing. So if there's a way that she can control it so that she doesn't get caught, then
And I think that's
why
the hardest
wouldn't
thing.
you?
Yeah, I think that's the
Yeah.
hardest thing for her is when that hunger hits. It's not, you know, okay, wait, that window over there is open, someone's looking. No, it's like it's time to eat.
Did you
I'm
guys
gonna
catch,
eat.
Did you guys catch the psychic vampire in the movie? There was a psychic vampire cameo.
Mm-mm.
No.
When the kid's hanging out with his dad and they're like having a good time, but then the dad's friend shows up and then the dad starts drinking with the friend and the kid starts having a terrible time.
Mm-hmm.
That guy wouldn't like it pans to his feet at the door and you almost wonder if it's going to be Ellie for a second because it pans to his feet.
Oh, because he
but
had the
then
sandals. Yeah, I wondered about that. He was.
But then it cuts to him and he's a dude and he's like the guy's friend, quote unquote, but really he's there to fucking drink and drain the guy's fucking energy.
He's an energy.
And it had me
Yeah.
thinking, like, I'm not saying, oh, he's actually a psychic vampire. What I'm saying is I feel like there was almost like this deliberate connection made with this guy also needed to be invited in.
Yep.
But then once he gets invited in, he drinks all your booze and wastes your precious time with your kid. And it doesn't even look like the dad's enjoying the fact that the dude's there. You know what I mean? It's just like this
Yeah.
fucking
No, that's a
vampire
good
fucking
point.
shows up.
That's my favorite character from What We Do in the Shadows is the energy vampire.
Oh my god. That is, yeah. I love oh my god, it's been a minute since I've seen an episode of that show because it needs to come back.
I love
But-
that show because it makes a cartoon out of the weird
All the
physics
tropes and stuff.
of- yeah.
Yeah.
Like bursting into flames and not being able to be invited in, you know, having to be invited in, freaking garlic and crosses. Like it to me, it's just too much cartoon physics for me to actually get behind in a serious context.
Yeah.
For What We Do in the Shadows, I'm like all about it. I love it. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's funny.
That's
Oh, I
why
love,
it's such a great
yeah.
show is because
Taika Waititi.
yes.
Amazing.
So
That's another thing about this film that I really like. I like that she just says, fuck it, I'm gonna come in and you're gonna see what happens when you don't invite me. And then all the blood just starts coming out of her. I thought
Yeah.
that was really cool.
Well, that was if you kind of question, you know, oh, did she really like him? Or did she feel like this, like compassion? That was her. If you notice her in that scene and then the next scene when they're outside, that was her kind of saying, yeah, bitch, this is what I'm capable of. You scared of me now? Good. You should be. Don't mess with me. Because after that, he stopped playing around. He was like, okay, I didn't mean to hurt you. Like, I'll do whatever you say. Just don't hurt yourself again. But she did it to prove a point. And she was like, look, this is what happens. You asked for this. You hurt
Yeah.
me.
Oh yeah.
You know?
And so we're clear too, because I know some people might be listening to this and not even know this. There was a remake of this film
Oh God, no.
He's like, don't go there.
You know the remake? This is what upsets me the most. Is the remake is free on YouTube.
Well, don't forget who directed it too. It's the guy who did the Planet of the Apes remake films, and he's doing the new Batman film.
Ugh.
Same
I feel
person.
like his director card should be revoked then.
Something Reeves, Matt Reeves. There you go. Yeah, Matt Reeves.
Why does that sound familiar?
So
he did the Planet of the
so
Apes,
many
newer
like
ones.
one thing that I hate about the remake
Cloverfield,
is like
the first one.
Like I was thinking about, you know how they cast like the perfect girl to play the vampire in this movie, and like she just has this kind of presence where she doesn't seem like a girl, you know, like
unlike the remake,
she seems like a 500-year-old monster in a girl's body. You know what I mean? And who did they have doing the like Dakota Fanning or some child actor?
Oh no, it's she's in the Tom and Jerry one right now. She did Kick-Ass. She played Hit Girl.
Are you sure that was her? Because that girl's
no, it's her.
Good.
No, it's her. It's her. I swear on my life, it's her.
Go look it up because I don't believe you.
No, I know it's her.
Who was that? I know I've seen the
her
trailer.
Her name is, tell you right now, Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yeah, Moretz or something, right? But she's not.
At one point, it was that. Yeah.
She was Carrie in the remake.
Yeah, she also did
was in she was in the other fucking vampire movie, the Johnny Depp one, Dark Shadows.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, that's her
Really?
Let me in. No, I know it is.
I'm looking it up right now.
Oh, you can.
I don't believe you.
I know it is.
It's like Dakota Fanning or somebody.
No, I watched the stuff for it yesterday. It's her.
Well,
either way, that movie fucking sucks.
There's parts in it that are pretty cool that are different than the original. Of course,
it is her. But okay, but this is what I'm saying. Okay, so Chloe Grace Moretz was like a pretty fucking child actress. Did not seem like a 500-year-old monster at any point in that movie.
No, I agree.
This fucking weird-looking girl that they had in a Swedish movie looked like a fucking 500-year-old monster sometimes.
Yeah, they needed to dirty her up in the American version or find somebody else.
They needed a different actress.
No, I agree. I'm not disagreeing.
Not a sweet little girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And not only that, it's very clear in the American one that it's not, there's no question of whether male, female, or just no gender whatsoever. You literally know
about that part. But
okay.
Another thing is that I mean, the deep voice is something, right? But that's not to me a gender thing so much as just like a maturity thing, where it's like, are you like that doesn't sound like a 12-year-old? It sounds like you smoke cigarettes. You know what I mean? And like, there's a lot of other things about the differences between these movies that like are so subtle. It almost seems shot for shot in a lot of ways, but then it's like there's no mood or atmosphere to it. Like it doesn't like there's no subtlety to it. It's like straight panning to her bare feet. Like, look at these bare feet. Straight panning to her climbing a building. Look at her climbing a building. Whereas it's like in Let the Right One in, those things go unnoticed.
Yeah, they were very subtle. Like, I think one of the first times I actually said out loud, like, ooh, I like that, was the hospital shot where the front desk person walks out, takes her time, and you see something on the building. And I was like, I wonder if that's Ellie. And then once she goes back inside, you just see her do. And I was like, that was nice because they didn't have to emphasize it or try to hide it. They hid it in plain sight and didn't make a big deal out of it. And it was it was really nice.
All right. So what are we giving this film? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I liked a lot about this. It wasn't without its flaws, but I don't know. I mean, some of it was like, obviously I don't like the vampire stuff as much because, like I said, the cartoon physics. And my least favorite part of this was the whole guy with shoulder pads drama, like that saga of him, like with his, I'm like, there's no one else in this town they can fucking keep on messing with like that. It's these idiots. I was not about all that, but
talking about the dudes in the bar.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Guy looks like he was in like Wham. But you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give this. I think deserves a 4-star.
All right. Who's next?
I'll go next because I think I'm going to agree with Keith and give it 4 stars. Like, it was good. It was not what I expected. They played true to the vampire lore, which I really did like. There were some scenes where it was a little long, I'm not going to lie. And I was like, this is okay. Give me just a little bit, pick it up. But I mean, in the end, it was good. I liked it. So I'm going to give it a 4.
All right. Heather?
0.
Damn.
I'm just kidding. It's fine. I'll give it a 4. Why not?
4.
I
Okay.
probably would give it a 4.5. It's definitely my kind of movie, but looking back, the flaws were a little bit worse.
Oh, on another view.
They didn't grow on me, And so, yeah. I liked it a lot though. 4.5. I'll say 4.5.
I'm going with 4.5 as well. I really like what gore they had. I really like the main actor. I like the actress who was playing Ellie. I really liked the actor playing Oscar, and the ending. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. If anybody else wants to, it's fine. But this is one of those films where when I first saw my first viewing, and you see what happens at the end. I don't necessarily mean the train, but before the train, the whole swimming area. I really love that ending, man. I really fucking do, because that shows how much that I don't want to say that she loved him, or more or less how much she invested in him and wanted to protect her investment. I don't know. You could go either way or both.
Right. The first time I watched it, I thought, oh, she does care. And it was such a touching, sweet ending. And then looking back, I'm like, yeah, she cares now.
Yeah.
She cares about what she was investing in, and like what she was going to do with all of that.
I thought hostage. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, and I really appreciated that. I really like the cinematography, and a lot of the different characters. Yes, it has its flaws, but for what it is, I've seen vampire films that are way worse.
Well, it's probably my favorite vampire.
Oh yeah, this is definitely in my top 5 favorite vampire movies for sure.
For that, I was torn between 4 and 4.5 stars. I think for it being one of the best vampire movies I've ever seen, I'm going to give it the 4.5. Can I change my answer?
Of course.
Still give it a half. So I'm back up to 4.5. So
Stina's like,
I'm a solid 4.
Okay.
I'm a solid 4.
And they didn't sparkle, so I have to give it a 4.5. Okay. They did not sparkle.
First of all, fuck you, Stefan. Second of all, don't make me dock my score for that comment.
Actually, they did sparkle.
Well, yeah, when they were burning, yes, okay.
They didn't fly. I'll give them that. So that part.
They had all sorts of nice jewelry on.
Too far. So that's an average of 4 1/3. I want to say, right?
4.25.
No, because
4 1/4 is 2 4.5s and 2 4s. It's 4 1/4.
No. I gave it a 4.5.
Oh,
I gave it a 4.5.
Yeah, so the three of you did 4.5. I gave it a 4. I'm not good at math.
I mean,
so.
guys,
I can't do that math either. That got way difficult, way fast.
It's 17 divided by 4. Wait, no, it isn't. Well,
Why don't I just call it a 5?
Call it a 5.
Just call it a 5? I don't know.
Let's just round up.
Yeah.
You guys want to watch some trailers and stuff? Like, I don't think people are gonna listen as we sit here and wait to figure out.
All right, let's do that.
Yeah.
Numerical score is.
Guys, we can watch some trailers on how to find out the average of different star ratings.
No.
You know what?
Horror movies, yeah.
I don't do that for a living. I'm not an accountant.
All right. Can you guys see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay.
It's 4.375.
Oh, right, I knew that. Fuck.
Let me know if you can hear it as well, okay? Here we go. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
11호차 응급 환자 발생했습니다.
Oh shit.
And if you guys like this one, I'll recommend next time the sequel. That's Train to Busan.
Well, hot damn, my heart just skipped a beat. Woo!
All right. Let's see. We'll do this one next. The other choice is The Entity. I had a last minute change. So here we go.
I've always believed that there were several planes of existence, and we as human beings inhabit only one.
What happened to you guys last night anyway?
I was attacked.
Is this the first time something like this has ever happened?
No.
Things have come to me. In the night.
Why do I see and feel these things?
Some things are more terrible than other things. And he felt like a man?
Big man. But when my son came in, there was nobody there. He evaporated.
That's classic poltergeist activity. You know, there was a time when people believed in the supernatural. These ghosts and demons were only ideas, but people saw them.
You think I'm insane?
First, we have to find out what the problem
In the
is.
meantime, I'll be dead. He's stronger than you are. He'll kill me if he has to.
Isn't it possible that some entity has crossed into our plane of existence?
There was somebody there. I couldn't see him with my eyes, but there was somebody there.
He's in the room!
Will you appear to us now?
It's my decision
What, to stay sick?
to stay alive.
And this is one of the best, in my opinion, ghost type movies. Oh my gosh.
I remember watching that movie as a kid.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I saw it at the
Entity is
beginning, and I was like-
fucking awesome, Keith, if you've never seen it.
I think
I'm
I was
staying
put off
over
by
here.
it.
I'm scared of that movie.
I remember watching it as a kid and I freaked out my
Didn't
like
we already-
family.
Are you still trying to get us to watch The Collector?
Oh, we did do that one? Okay, then I'll
You
choose
put
a
it up
different.
to vote before,
I think
yeah.
I was fine with the ghost, but I was freaked out by the ghost rape. I think I was like,
Yeah, that shit's intense, dude.
I don't know.
All right, so
You
then
should watch Trick or Treat. No, like a different Trick or Treat. Like there's.
Are you
there's
talking about
like
the
3
rock
of
and roll
them.
one with Ozzy?
That's the one that I watched. Yes,
Oh Lord.
and there's a great ghost rape scene in it.
All right, so I already did present this one before it could come around again. All right, then I'll do a different one. See, I'll type it up real
I mean,
fast.
I'm not voting for it because I've seen The Collector.
Oh no, I love the movie. Oh,
Yeah, I remember watching The Entity as a kid.
Oh, and I also suggested
remember
High
that.
Tension once, but we
No,
can
no.
watch
Oh,
it.
we did do that. Okay. And the other one, we'll just do this one then. Let's do the one I originally. All right, we'll do this one then. All right, Waxwork is our third choice.
Mm-hmm.
It's 11:45. Let's go.
Imagine, if you will, an exhibit in fear.
Looks a little spooky, boys. You think we should do this?
A place that appeals to your deepest and darkest fantasies.
Ooh, scary.
Your fascination with ghosts, monsters, and the many unearthly elements of the supernatural.
Welcome to the Waxwork.
Look.
This is killer.
Enjoy.
Wow, the glasses from Nutty Zombies from Hell.
Lose yourself in it.
Would you like a closer look?
Really?
But whatever you do, don't step over the rope.
All right, I'm into it.
But you're too tired to join us.
All right, I'm hypnotized.
Hey, not so fast.
Relax. Put on a cup of coffee. We'll talk about it.
I want out of here, Sarah. I'm serious.
Getting scared?
The lead actor from Gremlins.
Will I get a pretty woman in my illusion? No. No, I get a dork.
It isn't real.
Bravo! What the hell did you kill him for? He'd have been perfect.
I'll tell you what, I think it was a really poorly made trailer. Cut to the trailer.
Hit me! We still need 2 more!
Vestron Pictures welcomes you into a new dimension in terror.
Props and
Waxwork.
effects.
All right, I'm voting on Waxwork.
So those are our choices: Train to Busan, The Entity, and Waxwork.
I'm torn.
I'm
I
torn
don't know.
Okay, so the one that I know is probably the closest thing to the movie that I'll like is the Entity.
Which one?
The Entity.
Oh.
You know, do I always want to vote for the thing that I think I'll like, or something that's like new and wacky? You know.
Have you seen Train to Busan?
No, but I can tell you that like massive like zombie shit.
Oh no,
doesn't
no,
like
no, no!
zombies.
You got to think out. Train to Busan is a good movie, whether you like zombie. It's my favorite zombie movie. I would follow my favorite vampire up with my favorite zombie movie any day. It's like a really good
bit
movie.
like, you know, if Michael Bay spin kicking me in my face.
Michael Bay. Oh no, dude, that movie puts Michael Bay to shame.
And,
But it's also a drama about a dad just trying to protect his kid.
oh, that I love. Now now you sold me. Heather.
Oh, you sold me, Michael Bay. Eat it.
You said nothing about a dad. Okay.
So wait, which two were you torn between? The Entity and Waxwork?
The Entity and choosing something else that's outside of, you know what I mean? Like I want to like choose something that maybe I don't think I'll like, or that, you know what I mean? Like just to try something different. I don't know. I was hoping that maybe I'd be the last one to vote and I could do the tiebreaker, but that actually is too much pressure. So I am going to say, fine, Train to Busan then. Fuck it. Heather, you're pushing me into it. Watch my review when I find out about that dad.
Man. Okay, so here's the thing. I've seen The Entity and I like Waxwork. I've seen both of these and I like them for different reasons. I have not seen Train to Busan yet, and I am a huge zombie nerd. Huge. And just the
Huge.
from what I could see, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go with Train to Busan. I'm gonna do
Yeah,
it.
fuck capitalism.
I think that the danger with zombie movies for me is it gets a little bit like a Marvel movie. Like it's just there's too much explosions and jumping and fighting and
You haven't
the
seen enough
world is
zombie
at-
movies.
when the
my
world
friend.
is at stake.
This
as
is pretty
opposed to,
practical.
like, a person, you know, it's like okay, God,
It's pretty practical, Keith. They didn't have the biggest of budget to make that movie. I'm not saying they didn't have money, but compared to other stuff.
Like
I'm just saying, don't make assumptions that this is gonna be a regular zombie movie because it really isn't. And like the zombies are really a catalyst for the real bad guys that come out.
I
don't want to spoil anything actually.
I don't want to assume
my-
stuff, but these people literally made that trailer to like show me what it's about, and they're showing me shit that I don't, you know what I mean?
See,
yeah,
I wish that I could, because honestly, my two, like the ones that I was tied between were Waxwork and Train to Busan for different reasons.
And you've seen Waxwork, right, Stina?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
I
classic.
loved that movie as a kid.
Yeah, Vestron, man. Vestron made some of the best 80s low budget horror films.
It was so like, have y'all ever seen The Page Master? Do you remember that one
with Macaulay
Culkin?
Oh, yeah.
And he has to go through the different movie genre or the book genres to get to the page. Oh my god, that's what that movie reminds. Yeah, that's what it reminds me in the Waxwork.
Night of the Living Dead, Frankenstein, The Mummy, Vampires.
It's so funky and weird and odd, and I love it. Oh, I don't.
All right, well, Train to Busan, man.
That's right. I sound so happy.
Wait, you know what? Just because I just talked myself into it, I'm doing a last minute answer change. I want to watch Waxwork.
Okay, so wait, then it's not Train to Busan? It's Waxwork?
Yes.
Heather psychologically strong-armed me into losing anyway. What the hell? What's the fucking point?
I talked myself back into watching Waxwork.
Well, I'm fine with
Waxwork. You know, we should do a retro film anyway. We should get one of those in every once in a while. So Waxwork, okay.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. Waxwork. Wait, it's second. You heard it here second. That next week we'll be reviewing Waxwork.
Sorry,
Wait,
y'all.
I didn't even vote yet, did I?
It doesn't matter.
You don't get to vote.
You already you only vote on a tiebreaker, and
That's why I picked 3.
and it's already 2 for Waxwork. 2 out of 3. So
how did we change last minute? What the hell?
I mean, she didn't take her finger off the checker. So
what? What if we already pushed stop?
That's why I checked.
I'm about to push stop. Heather's got to get to Costco. So
I looked at recording, and that's
Train
the
to
only reason why
Busan
I
is so
changed
much
it.
better.
Actually, the kid's already back from Costco. He got a pack of lawnmowers, just like you said.
All right. Well,
so it is Waxwork then. Okay.
Let's wrap it up.
All right. So I guess somehow, some way, we got Waxwork. I thought it was Train to Busan. I was all excited. God damn it. Well, thank you for hanging out with us and chilling with the sick folks of cinema.
Yeah, we're fucks too.
It's all the same.
And so we will be reviewing Brazilian Waxwork for next week. So thank you for hanging out with us, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone. It was great to hang out with you. Have a great week.
Oh my God, I'm stopping.